Hello students, welcome back. We are meeting after a long time, after the summer vacation, right? Before summer vacation also there was lockdown period and we learned some chapter through online method. And again the lockdown period is not over, so after the summer vacation we are again going to learn some chapters through online method. Students, I hope you have not wasted all your time in watching TV and mobile during this vacation period, because this will kill all your time. Please don't waste all your time in watching TV or mobile. Use this time for doing something interesting, something valuable also. So you can find so many interesting activities. If you are interested, then you can find activities in Google, in YouTube also. Please do that. Please utilize your time creatively. Friends, we have already finished the first chapter, Fundamental Unit of Life, before the summer vacation. I hope you have not wasted all your time in watching TV or mobile, and I hope you have revised the chapter notes. You have finished the exercise and we can understand the chapter better, the tissues chapter better if we understand cell chapter. Okay, so let us move to the second chapter, tissues, second biology chapter, tissues, in this session. So let me ask, what is a tissue? You already have some idea about tissues in class 8. So tell me, what is a tissue? I know many of you can answer what is a tissue. Though you don't understand completely what exactly tissue does, but you know the definition of tissue. Tissue is a group of cells performing a particular function. Okay, in living organisms, right? So friends, in unicellular organisms, what happens? The whole body of the organism is a single cell, and that single cell carries out all the functions. Give me an example of an unicellular organism. Right, amoeba. Amoeba, paramecium, these are common examples of unicellular organisms. So in case of these unicellular organisms, they carry out all the body functions through their single cell. So what are the body functions then? Yes, digestion, excretion, respiration, everything takes place in a single cell. But what happens in multicellular organisms? There are millions of cells, so there is benefit of having tissues. There are groups of cells that perform particular function, and this group of cells, a particular one group of cell does this function, one group of cell does that function. They are located at different places and they do different functions. For example, muscular tissue. What is the function of muscles? They help in the body movement. So muscular tissues, they expand, they contract, and they help in the body movement. Nervous tissue. Nervous tissue helps in carrying messages from one part of the body to another part. Blood is also a tissue. It helps in transportation. So these tissues are they help in carrying out different functions. Okay. And now let us understand whether plant tissue and animal tissue should be same or not. No, they are not same. Why? Because I have already described this before. Plants, they are not active as humans are. Plants, they remain at one place. They are stationary. They cannot move from one place to another. They do not move. They do not do any work like us. Whereas animal cells, they are always active. they move from one place to another, their body parts move, they do a lot of activity. So there is plant cells need very less energy and animal cells need a lot of energy. And the job of plant tissues is only to provide support, mainly to provide support so that they can stay at one place strongly. But in animal cells, they need a lot of energy and a lot of functions are carried out in animal bodies. Right. So this is the difference between plant cell and animal cell. And let us now first move to plant cells. Plant cells, as we have now learned that plant cells need very less energy. They do not have many types of tissues as in human beings or in other organisms. So plant cells have basically two types of tissues. Basically, we can say two types of tissues: dividing tissues, non-dividing tissues. Dividing tissues are called meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues. These are dividing cells. They keep dividing to form cells. Okay. And there are non-dividing tissues. They are called permanent tissues. The dividing cells, they are called meristematic tissues. They are present at different positions of the plant, and depending on where they are present, depending on their position, meristematic tissues are of three types. First is apical meristem, second is lateral meristem, and third is intercalary meristem. Right? Three types of meristematic cells. These are dividing cells. So what is their specialty? Let me tell you what is the characteristic of meristematic cells. There are no intercellular spaces between the cells, and their protoplasm is very thick, dense and thick, and their nucleus is clear, prominent. Okay. And they keep on dividing all the time. So first let us know what is apical meristem. Apical meristem, depending on their position, I am telling you, the names have been given depending on their position. Apical means at the tips. Apical meristem are present at the tips of shoots and roots. They are present at the tips of shoots, tips of roots, and they help in the growth of height. They help in the elongation of the plant. Okay. And this is called primary growth actually. The growth of the plant in height this is called primary growth. And lateral meristem. Where are they present? Lateral means side to side. So they are present at the side of the stem, and they help in the growth of the diameter of the stem. The girth of the stem, the diameter of the stem, they help in the growth of that. They are called lateral meristem. And intercalary meristem. What is intercalary meristem? Intercalary meristem is present at the base of leaves or internodes. They are present at the base of leaves or internodes, and they are responsible for the growth of organs like leaves and internodes. The growth of leaves and internodes, they help the growth of twigs, leaves and internodes. Right. So today we have up to this meristematic tissue in plants. In our next session we will learn about permanent tissues in plants. Friends, I will send some supporting video to understand this up to this to a detailed extent. So please go through the video and understand in detail, and we will also write the notes, and we will meet in the next session.